Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of the RocknRoll Beer Guy Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Gamefly. If you go to gameflyoffer.com/RRBG, you'll get a free 30-day trial that'll allow you to rent one game out at a time. It'll ship directly to your house, and it comes pre-addressed so you can return it super easy. There are no contracts. You can cancel anytime. If you're not familiar with Gamefly, it's kind of like back in the day when you had Netflix. They'll ship you games directly to your house from any console, including Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, even 3DS games. They have over 8,000 new releases and classics available. It's a great service. I use it all the time. If you end up with a game that you really like, you can even keep it, and they'll send you the box. You just pay a small fee, a used fee. This podcast is also brought to you by Loot Crate. Go to trylootcrate.com/RRBG and enter the promo code BRIDGE10. This will give you 10% off your new subscription. If you're not familiar with Loot Crate, it's a service that they'll send you a box of mystery items every month. Anything from collectibles to apparel to gadgets and art and random gear, Comic-Con stuff. Every month is a new theme, like 80s movies or villains or something like that, and it's really, really cool. You get exclusive content that's only available through the service. So once again, just go to trylootcrate.com/RRBG and put in the code BRIDGE10. You'll get 10% off your new subscription. In this episode, I talked to Dale Crover. He's a legendary musician. He's been in bands like Nirvana, Fantomas. He's the drummer for the Melvins, and he has a new solo project out right now, The Fickle Finger of Fate by Dale Crover. It's super trippy. I highly recommend you check it out. We talk about his career in music while he's out on the road. It was a real honor to talk to him, and I hope you enjoy. Cheers. Hello, is this Dale?
Yes.
Hey, Dale, this is Eddie with the RocknRoll Beer Guy Podcast.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. How about yourself?
Just fine and dandy. I'm in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City? Are you on the road?
Yes. Wait, what? You didn't know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you taking time out of the road, man. It's. I know how busy it can be.
Yeah, certainly. Where are you calling from?
I'm actually in Long Beach right now. I'm actually going to see you guys this weekend. I'm driving out to Psycho Las Vegas.
Right. Awesome. Have you ever been to this thing before?
What, Psycho? No, I've never been.
Neither have we.
It sounds crazy. I mean, there's a pool stage. I don't know. I'm interested. Do you know what time you guys are going on? Is it Saturday?
Yeah, I think we play at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock Saturday? Okay, cool. Yeah, I gotta sit down and make a schedule, make sure I catch everybody I want to see.
Yeah, who are you looking forward to seeing?
There's a few bands. I mean, there's a couple bands that I've had on the podcast, friends of mine like Sumac and the dudes from Pelican and Chemist, you know. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing King Diamond. I've never seen him, and I know it's going to be a crazy scenario.
Yeah, I don't know what day he plays. I think maybe he plays on Saturday.
Saturday, probably. I think, yeah, he was a headliner for Saturday, because Friday it's the Bryanstown, Jonestown, something like that.
Jonestown Massacre.
I never heard of those guys. I mean, I looked them up after I saw them on the bill, but I never heard of them before.
Oh, you should watch this movie called, what's it called? Damn it, there's a documentary on those guys. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. It's pretty good, though. I think you can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
I found it on there. Before the end of this, but it's or if you're near a computer, you should look it up, and then we can include it in this podcast.
So we were talking about the Bryan Jonestown Massacre documentary.
Documentary
with the Dandy Warhols on the road.
Yes, it's worth checking out if you don't like either band.
If you don't like either band,
you can see how crazy. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like either band to like the documentary.
Okay,
you know.
Okay. I thought you meant,
musically,
if you like them, it talks shit about them.
No. I mean, if you're not a fan or don't know anything about them, then you'd probably still get a kick out of it. You know,
for sure.
It's a good rock and roll freak out movie. So I've actually never seen them live, but I like that and like some of that stuff. So I might stick around. Who knows?
Yeah.
But then again, we play pretty early. So
when are you guys getting in?
Like about 4:00.
On Saturday.
But it's been Saturday night every night for us for the last 6 weeks. So I might just want to go someplace rock show. No offense to anybody, but
no, I hear you. Especially with stuff like this, you're on the road.
If you work in a bar on your time off, you don't necessarily want to go to a bar. In fact, usually that's the last place you want to go.
Yeah, I hear you. I have that issue. I work also for a brewery. So a lot of my time is spent at restaurants and bars during the week, Monday through Friday, just talking to bar owners, going to events and selling beer and drinking beer with them. And I end up, just on the weekends, I just want to stay home, man. My friends want to go out to a bar.
Right.
I'm like, nah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Are you a big drinker?
Exactly.
Are you drinking on the road at all?
Am I I drink the non-alcoholic beers.
Ah, okay. So you don't drink at all?
Not usually.
No. Was there a time when before, like, when you were younger that was something you would do, or was that just always something that you never did?
We get plenty fucked up.
What's the...
When we were kids, we used to drink Schlitz malt liquor. Because it was cheap and it'd get you hammered.
Oh yeah.
So I remember having one as an adult and thinking, oh my God, how did we fucking drink this crap?
Yeah. There's a lot of beers you drink on the road that are garbage that, when you're younger and you're broke, it just makes sense, King Cobra or like Old English.
Right. And, well, I don't really know anything about you, but I've noticed that, there's people that are like beer snobs, but if there's nothing else to drink, they'll still drink a shitty beer. Right.
Yeah, if you're at a place and you're partying, and there's nothing but shitty beer, sure.
That's right. It's probably like wine. After a few glasses, you could be drinking some, you drink some $100 bottle of wine, and then, by about your fourth drink, it doesn't matter what you're drinking.
Exactly. They want to be snobby about it, like, oh, the nose on this.
How can you tell? But yeah, so I drink the non-alcoholic beers, and I'll drink the shitty ones. I don't mind O'Doul's.
Okay.
But I like the fancy German ones, and even in Germany now, there's some fancy ones where people are like, even I would drink that one.
Yeah.
The Germans who are known for their drink.
Yeah, there's a company out there, Bitburger, does a really good non-alcoholic beer. It's pretty good.
They do. Bitburger Drive.
Yeah. I used to sell their beers out in Florida. It was interesting. Lots of money in the World Cup season. You've been playing music for a very long time since. You joined the Melvins back in 1984. Was it? That's when you guys started?
Yeah. I joined in summer of '84.
That's nuts.
When I was 16.
You were 16 years old.
Yep.
It really fascinates me when I talk to people that started that young, because it's such a way to change your lifestyle for the rest of your life. Like, now that's your life. As you get older, you realize that, like, man, it's nuts to have to start there, at such a young age.
Yeah. Look, certainly, I suppose you could say, to be at almost 50, which I'll be in October, is something,
For sure.
You know what that tells you?
You do lots of cardio?
That tells you when I start something, I don't quit.
That's true. That you do not quit. You've been in plenty of projects. You've been working nonstop. I'm
not a quitter. I don't give up. Yeah, and I pretty much knew that this is what I wanted to do. When I was sixth grade, probably. But fuck yeah, I want to be a musician, be in a band. But when you're that age too, you say all kinds of crazy shit.
True.
You want to be a cowboy, you want to be a fireman, you want to be a policeman. How you want to be it? So, I knew all the other ones wouldn't really work out. So
you said, I want to be a rock and roll star, man.
No, I said all those other things too.
Oh, okay.
But at least one of those things I said worked out.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely worked out, man. You're still doing it. You just released your new solo project.
Yes.
The Fickle Finger of Fate.
The Fickle Finger of Fate.
Yeah, man. I was listening to it the last couple of days. Monica was nice enough to send me an early copy to check out, and dude, it's great.
Oh, great. Thanks.
It's very trippy, dark and trippy, and a lot of interludes. I mean, it's like 20 tracks in total.
Yeah, those of them are really short. You know, it's almost a cheat. You know, it doesn't sound like it's. I mean, you know, it sounds like it's some really long thing, but it's not. And you know, it's because there's all these little drum things on there.
No, and
they're like almost like little jingles.
Yeah, I love it because that happens a lot to me. You know, when writing music, you'll come up with an idea for something that doesn't need to be a full song or anything. It's just an idea and it's cool. And I appreciate that you're putting them on the album.
Well, those the little drum things that are on the record had because we had done this weird little 10-inch record where there's all these little short songs on it, and they made these crazy cuts in the thing. It could only be 30 seconds long. It was actually kind of hard to write something short, concise that would, you know, have a beginning, middle, and ending to it. Yeah. You know, without going over the time limit.
For sure.
So those were maybe in a way almost harder than the actual songs that are longer, you know, more regular songs on the record.
Is there a running theme for you in that album that is, you know, lyrically or just with the vibe you're trying to put out?
No, not one in particular. You know, each song is, I guess, but you know, I guess if anything, it would be about. There's not any huge meaning in anything really, I guess, but I mean the title of the record itself is kind of like about people that no matter always seem to like have bad shit happen to them.
Okay.
And you know that you say it's the fickle finger of fate, but really the fickle finger of fate is them. They're by their own doing. Uh-huh. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I have friends like that. Yeah. That everything's terrible, but yeah, you know, make a difference, make a change. It's on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's your finger.
Is this something you've been working on for a long time, or is this like a recent idea where you're like, I'm going to make a solo record?
I'd been thinking about doing one for a little while, but I mean, about a year ago.
Okay.
You know, when I planned it out and talked to the label and got them on board on it. You know, so they've been really cool. They've always been. You know, anything you want to do, we're interested in any kind of project you'd want to do, whether it's a drum thing or whatever, you know, or they'll always do Melvin stuff if we would give them something, or you know, Red Cross just did something with them recently. I've been playing with those guys. They're into doing a full solo record with me, and so, you know, I guess I had the vehicle to do it, and some of the songs I'd had kicking around for a while, but then some of them are brand new.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. You definitely have been surrounded with a lot of great musicians, and you've also been involved in different capacities too. I mean, you're multifaceted. You know, you're not just a drummer. Like, you know, you play bass and you sing on the album. You've played, you know, guitar and other things. It's awesome. You know?
I think, you know?
More people should do that. More people need to do that. Like, a lot of people get stuck on one instrument. Like, I'm a guitar player and that's all you do. Well, that's very limiting, man. Like, you should learn all the instruments. Why not?
Sure. I mean, drums, that's my main instrument, but playing all these other instruments also helps with that as well.
Yeah. And you know, it helps.
Piano's the one to learn. I've been trying to sit down and play piano because it's fun, and if you want to be able to play any of the other instruments, you know, that's kind of where it all comes from.
For sure, yeah, that's definitely the foundation.
Especially drumming for sure.
Yeah,
I took some I was going to say I took some piano lessons for a little while, and the guy, you played piano before, right? No, I'm a drummer. He's like, oh yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, you get to
the same thing.
Yeah, you separate your brain separately, you know, for each limb, you know, for drumming, and it works the same for your fingers and stuff like that for keyboards.
Right, exactly.
to some of the listeners that are maybe aren't aware, like some of the projects you've been in part of, like Men of Porn and Shrine Builder.
Right. Shrine Builder. Yep.
You're in Altamont.
Yep. That's a band I've actually had for quite a while.
Yeah.
And that's in that band I play guitar and sing. The majority of songwriting, I guess.
Very cool. And then you were the original drummer for Nirvana too, right?
I mean, I played with those guys. I don't know if I'm drummer. There was a guy that played with them before me.
Okay.
And I was never really in the band, you know. I just kind of helped those guys out more or less, I guess. Played with them live a bit, and then did some recording with them. Yeah,
you did some recordings, some demos, right? Or were you part of Bleach?
Yep, I did their very first demo, and they ended up using some of that for Bleach.
Cool.
Actually, they used a bunch of different records. You know, 3 of the songs were on Bleach, some of them were on Incesticide, and then some on that box set.
Very cool. Yeah, and you were also in a band with Kurt Cobain, Fecal Matter?
Yeah, sort of. Again, that was just he and I, me learning his songs and helping him record something.
That's cool.
But, you know, like a house party or something like that. We had a few different bands. We had this band called Stiff Woodies that had a revolving cast of members. Novoselic was in it. Kurt sometimes played drums or guitar. Buzz was in it. Out of it, depending. And with that, we just played parties. We'd go play house parties around our hometown so that we could go convince people that we'd play at.
Yeah, I love house parties, man. That time of my life when I used to play in a band at house parties, it's just nothing really beats that vibe because it's all your friends and you're all just partying, having a good time. You know, like it's different.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the cops always came though.
Oh man, yeah, that was definitely an issue most of the time. The cops showing up.
Yep. We were always trying to get the cops there. You know. Let's see if we can get the cops here. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, you know, there's a lot of parties where cops came and busted it up. I never got arrested, so that's good.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I remember we played this party one time in Montesano, Washington, where the band's technically from. And somehow playing this thing, or just showing up and playing it. And we had already played the night before in Seattle or something like that. And we got super wasted. And this was like the only show the Melvins have ever played drunk, I swear. You know, okay. Never. We went and bought like a fifth of Potter's whiskey and a bunch of cheap beer and a lime and went out into the woods behind Potter's house and got hammered and then went to this party. And this band that was playing, the local band, they're kind of like a goofy, like cheesy metal band, you know, like metal, but you know, like Journey or something like that, you know, like
power metal,
but we played on their gear and nobody that liked us. We're just making it dead. We're like super drunk. They were shutting the lights off on us, trying to get us to quit, and we're like, Hey, wait a second, turn the lights back on. We have a special announcement to make. And they just roar right back into another song. Turn the lights off again. We just keep playing. They pretty much had to drag us off of there.
Jesus, you know? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a big house out in Florida where I'd have bands come in and do shows, or just, you know, if they were in tour, they could stay with me. And one night we had a huge party, and I was next level, I guess you could say. I don't know what happened that night, but I was on a whole different level. And we had a pool, so I was in a bathing suit, and I had just eaten like half a watermelon that had been cut up full of vodka.
Yeah.
And the cop shows up, and I apparently walked up to the cop in my bathing suit and half of the watermelon as a helmet, like dripping, you know, watermelon and vodka down my face. And the cop's like, "Hey,
did you get arrested?"
Well, no. He looked at me. He's like, "Okay, I need to speak to the owner of the house." I'm like, "That's me." He's like, "Really?" Like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." He's like, "Cool. Well, if I walk in there, how many underage girls are drinking beer right now?" I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know. You know, I'm not handling that." He's like, "Well, you should be, because you could go to jail right now if I find one underage person." I'm like, "Oh no." So I told him, I'm like, look, man, I'll cut the party out right now. Everybody goes inside. We keep it inside. It's over. He's like, all right, if I come back and the party's still going, you're going to jail. And everybody that's over 21 is going to jail. I'm like, okay, cool. So for like a good 2 hours, we had, I don't know, 300 people jammed in the house, being quiet, kind of just chilling. Like, don't make noise. The cops are hanging out outside. Don't move, you know. Nobody leave. Just chill, and then they'll go away. And that's how that worked out.
Wow.
Yeah, but I could have easily gone to jail, you know?
Yeah.
You got to make sure, kids, if you throw these parties, card at the door. It's important. Oh, man. So you're living in L.A. now, right?
Yeah, I've been there for a long time now.
Okay. When did you move to L.A.?
So we've actually been in California in 1999.
1999. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yep. So we've actually been in California for a long time now.
Wow. Okay. Is there anywhere else in the world you would rather live? Because, I mean, I just recently moved here last year, and it's been great.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you move from?
From Florida.
Welcome to California.
It's like Florida, but not crappy. It's still crappy, but not as crappy
Right.
as Florida. Yeah.
Where in Florida did you live?
I lived in Miami, and I mean, a lot of the time I spent it real south in Homestead, close to the Keys.
Oh, that might be okay. I've never been down that far.
It's all farmland and, you know, shitty beer and lots of house parties.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really like Los Angeles a lot, and I don't think I would. I don't see why. I have a house there.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative sides to LA. Living here is kind of crazy. The traffic's crazy, and you know, it's kind of a hectic life if you choose it.
Yeah, people say that, but I think traffic is bad in any major city, you know?
That's true.
Certainly traffic's not bad down in Miami.
Not at all.
Never sat in traffic there or any major city. Every major city sucks for traffic. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know?
Miami's especially bad. There's just
this is bad anyplace else. It's just bigger.
Yeah, Miami's got like, there's a lot of, it's like the Wild West down there. There's just a lot of, you know, drug use and crazy people out in the streets, that even more so than out here, I think.
Miami looked like a big disco.
It is. It's like a giant party all the time. And that's one of the reasons I wanted out.
Even the baseball park there. Yeah, even the baseball stadium they made look like a disco.
Yeah. Every time somebody hits a home
Neon
run.
green.
Have you seen the Marlins Stadium when somebody hits a home run?
But I don't think anybody hit one when I was there.
Yeah, they have this crazy setup with like a dolphin.
Oh, the thing lights up, right?
Yeah, like a dolphin flies by.
Hideous thing out in center field.
Yeah. Are you a big baseball fan?
Yes.
Are you stoked about the Dodgers right now?
Yeah, they're amazing. I watched the game last night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Puig, he came through. He's nuts. He's one of the. He picked up the ball and bit it, threw it down, and hit it in. Since I've been watching them, this is the best team they've had, or at least this is the most exciting baseball that they've ever been playing. You know, just behind in so many games and winning, and just their young guys that they have are just amazing. You know,
for sure.
Their manager's really, really great part of it, and you know, but just picking the right people, putting the right team together.
For sure, man. They've actually gotten me excited about it.
Yeah, seems like their general manager's really good too.
Yeah. I used to follow baseball when I was younger, but I kind of, you know, after the Yankees started just becoming a team of purchasing whoever they wanted, then it kind of became I lost my feeling of like that's my team. Like it just felt like, okay, this is an all-star team, you know. But I grew up in I grew up in New Jersey. That was the only team we had, you know.
Right.
And I after when I moved from New Jersey to Florida, I kind of just stopped following baseball. I mean, I watched the Marlins win the World Series, and I got into that, but
right.
I kind of took some time away from it. And then lately now with the Dodgers, I mean, I guess it helps that my family knows Puig, so we've been able to go hang out with him and you know.
Oh, really?
See that? Yeah. He's
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's Cuban, and my uncle's friends with his family. So like he
lives in Miami.
Yeah. No, actually, he lives out here in LA.
Right.
Now.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about baseball more if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. Who do you think's going to be the? Who's going to be the
team for the American League?
Yeah. Is it the Yankees? Are they still number one? They were number one for a while.
I think that I got to look at that division right now because I can't remember.
Let me see.
I know that division is really tight, and so is the Central. Who knows? Could be Cleveland again.
I'm trying to pull something up here. Well, that is, yeah. Because, I mean, they made it. The Dodgers are making it to the World Series, right?
They will make the playoffs and probably win their division. So then when playoffs happen, anything can happen. So if they keep playing as good as they are, then, but playoffs are always different.
That is true. Well,
and they got to get to the World Series. They got to get past 2 rounds in the playoffs and go to the World Series. So for the last 4 years, so that's good. They've always been kind of close, but I think seems as of right now that they have best chance that they've ever had. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and it seems that the Yankees are actually second in the American League. Red Sox being.
And I think they have the
now.
wild card. Yep, I think that they have the wild card, and they would be in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, it's Red Sox, Yankees, Rays, Orioles, and Blue Jays are like on the top of the east side. Central, we got the Indians and the Royals, and then on the west we got the Astros and the Angels. Should be interesting. It's making me want to watch more baseball because I've only been watching the Dodgers games, just to hang out, because being around that dude, it just happens. When you're around somebody, my family hangs out with him, I'm going to start watching baseball again and see what's going on with that because I care. At this point, I have a personal connection.
Well, he's really amazing to watch.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and he's got, he's on the news.
He's been playing really good.
He's in the news with like flipping off people, and there's this website that I buy shirts from called DOS Bootleg, and they printed up a shirt with that picture of him flipping off.
Oh, that's funny that you said that because our engineer that we work with, Toshi, he's a real Dodgers fan too. He went to the game last night, and I was telling him about Puig biting the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And then for a while, we've been talking about how we need to make an 8x10. I've got that picture of him flipping off the crowd.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, we need that in the studio.
Yeah, they made these shirts. My cousin bought one, and when last time they went to go see him, I think it was actually last night. They went to go see him. They got a picture with him and him wearing the shirt. Like,
what's that T-shirt or what's that website called again?
It's called DOS Bootleg, DAS Bootleg, and
DOS Bootleg.
Yeah, they make a bunch of obscure like movie reference shirts. Like they have one with Hans Gruber, or they'll have like Butcher Bill from Gangs of New York, and they have other stuff like that. And they don't have the licensing for it, so they just do it until they get a cease and desist.
Well, I'll have to hurry and get it, because I'll have to get the Puig shirt.
Yeah, the Puig shirt's great. They have it in black and blue. It's awesome.
Yeah. He's the first shirt I ever bought.
Nice.
I saw him play like the first week he came to the Dodgers, and the game I went to, he had a grand slam, and I was like, all right, this guy's really good, and he's been playing good all week. So it was just like, that was cool.
That's awesome. He gave me a ball. He signed a ball for me.
Awesome. That's great.
So we win the World Series, and then you could sell it on eBay or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got another good bootleg Dodgers shirt that it's a Slayer shirt, and LA and Slayers have the Dodgers emblem.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that they do stuff like that. They also have nights they had like Game of Thrones night at the Dodger Stadium. They were doing like Dodgers, but with the Game of Thrones font and stuff like that on the shirt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Do you watch Game of Thrones at all? I mean, I imagine not with your schedule and stuff that you don't have a lot of time for TV.
Yeah. So don't spoil it for me because I haven't really seen much of this new season at all.
Oh, okay. So, but you're up to date at least with season 6, right?
Yeah. I maybe like accidentally watched a little bit of one of the episodes and saw some, but I have been watching Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay. I haven't been able to get into that yet.
Which I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. It's definitely strange, and I think most people I know like it, though it's pretty different from what the original series was. But to me, it still has that total weirdo David Lynch part of it, and he's directed all of these, and he's in it a bunch, and I think it's really good.
Well, were you a fan of the original series before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
I never got into it, and so
even before that,
I started trying to watch the original series, and it was a little painful. The acting's pretty bad. The acting's pretty bad in the beginning.
Oh, yeah?
The first few episodes.
I'll have to watch it again. But then again, I was a fan of Dan Eraserhead and stuff before that, so I kind of expect a little bit of that kind of acting, I suppose. But I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'll have to go back and kind of watch it. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I have to. Do you think I should watch the original before watching the new one?
Well, I guess things would make
more.
Some things would make sense. Actually, well,
it would be more for references, right? You just catch the references.
Yeah, what you could actually do is watch the movie first, which is kind of the prequel to the series, and it's more like what the new series is like, I think.
Okay.
Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. I mean, you could watch that and then probably start watching the other thing and still kind of get it.
Okay.
Abstract stuff that's going on. But, you know, you would know more too watching the series. I mean, there's certainly lots of clues from the series.
Yeah, I got to give it another shot.
The original series, yeah. You know, but you know, maybe watching that movie first would get you into it.
Okay, I'll give that a shot.
You know, because it's a little, well, it's a movie as opposed to the original one was a TV series, you know, on regular TV. So there's a lot they couldn't do, you know, because of ratings or because of the rating.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Whereas with cable now they can be a lot more graphic and pass and show nudity and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, without ruining anything for you about Game of Thrones, I'll just tell you now that they're off the books, like they're not following the books anymore. It's gone off the rails.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like it's you know, they were following the books up until this point, but there's no book now, so they're just making it up on the spot, and they're definitely doing more fan service, like stuff that people have been asking for, like I want more of this or more of that. Like we're getting more of that.
Right.
I did see a decrease. I've noticed a decrease in like nudity and sex too, because a lot of people will complain. They're like, I don't want to watch that show. It's all sex and dragons, and I'm like, well, not really, not anymore. Like at least not the sex part.
I thought I thought that was why people wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I had people that.
I always thought that's why people wanted to watch it.
Yeah, you know, hipster mentality. They're like, no, everybody's watching it because it's softcore porn. I'm like, well, yeah. But there's dragons, too.
Duh.
Oh, man. Yeah. So you do find time to watch shows like on the road. You guys are touring, I'm assuming, in a bus at this point?
No, not really. We still tour in the van.
You're still
a nice van.
Like one of those, the ones that they rent out, the bandwagons. Have you seen those?
Yeah, van. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
In hotels. Sucks to stay on a bus, really.
Yeah,
you know,
it's expensive.
Most places we play don't have. That's the main thing right there. Those things cost a lot of money.
Yeah, gas and just the driver and just running it. It's just rough, man. You know, it's nice, it's comfortable, especially for, you know, if you're a successful band, like, you know, I'm talking like TV successful band, then I guess it makes sense. You know? But
if we were a really successful band, we'd just fly and take limos.
Right.
You know? Wouldn't bother with a bus at all.
Man, times were different back then, right? Like Zeppelin had their own jet and shit. Like that's some next level stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Let me ask you, what are your feelings on the music industry now, like how it is compared to how it was back when you first started?
Well, it's certainly easier to get your music out there. You know, when we first started, it was really hard for us to even get a record deal. So, you know, that took a while. Actually, it was maybe only a couple years, 2-3 years, but it seemed like a long time. It seemed like it took us a long time to be able to deal without records, you know. I don't know. I think with the advent of the internet and all that, it's easier for people to hear your stuff too.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, times are different, yeah, but you just have to adapt, I guess. You know, I think things are better now than they were before. It's easier for us to do things, certainly. I think it's easier to record records, make records, put records out. Easier to find out about music. Easier to find out about bands. You know, there's you can go on and look up anything. I want to look up this thing and this band. You know, I've heard way more music from having the way things are now than ever before. I listen to more music now than I have ever before, just because I find more of it and it's more readily available. So things are really great, and things for our band are better than ever. Yeah,
I mean, you guys recently just released a record, I think last year, right? Or a little bit before a year?
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
we've loads of records. There's been tons of things that have come out there. So,
yeah, man.
You know, it's all good.
That's awesome. You know, I know back in the day, I mean, a lot of people say that there was more money being thrown around, but it was also more debt being thrown around.
A lot more money being wasted.
Yeah, a lot of stuff being
exactly.
wasted. Yeah. Not a lot of investments.
Certainly, there's not that money there for making records, and people don't sell as many records. You know, so you just have to figure out other ways to make your money, and not worry about that. You know, figure out another way. You have to survive.
For sure. And I give you guys kudos for still doing it, man. Like, you guys adapted well. Like, you're not, a lot of bands that were around back then just can't even handle the new technology, the way it goes, just they're so used to their old lifestyle that they just can't adapt, but you have to, otherwise you drown,
Yeah, that's right. Well, why? I don't know. You just got to open your mind, man.
Open your mind, bro.
and your ass will follow. Free your mind, baby, and your ass will follow.
That's awesome.
Don't get stuck in your square ways,
For sure.
What do you think it's all about?
Are you a proponent of psychedelic drugs, man?
Oh, I haven't done anything like that since the 80s.
Okay, but are you against?
My mind, I couldn't possibly expand my mind anymore. That's why I quit doing those.
Yeah, I hear you.
My mind is fully expanded and wide open, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it shows in your music. The style of music you guys do, as an outsider, I would classify it as psychedelic rock, or like the new album, your solo album is very trippy and kind of vibey. It has this crazy vibe that puts me in that place from when I used to do psychedelics as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Psychedelic, but without the drug. We're soberdelic.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to a certain point of doing psychedelics, it's something that just happens to you more regularly. Like, just being alive and sometimes just realizing what's going on around you puts you in a different state of mind already,
That's right. I don't think you need that stuff, though.
You don't. I mean, I don't regret that I did it when I was younger, because it definitely helped open my mind faster. But... Yeah,
I don't know.
But I wouldn't. I feel bad.
Well, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it again.
Yeah, I can't handle it anymore. Like, I have friends always like, "Oh, you want some mushrooms?" Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, those used to grow in our front yard.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mushrooms up in Washington. So, and the problem is that you never knew what was going to happen if you ate some, because you couldn't ever really. You could eat 30 and be okay and fine and having a good time, or then you could eat that many and just have a total
meltdown.
Yeah. So, and that's not fun at all. So after that happened, I was like, not going to have any of these anymore.
Yeah, it seems like there's always that moment. Like, there's always a moment where you finally hit a certain point where you're like, okay, I'm done with that for the rest of my life. That's enough.
Right.
So what do you think about music these days? Like, what are you listening to that's newer? Any new bands that you think are doing it right, in your opinion?
I like this band Lemon Twigs that had a record come out not too long ago.
Okay.
I know I talked about these guys before, but they're these two brothers from, and they have a record out that's a little bit like Queen, Beach Boys, Beatlesy, Todd Rundgren, which I know that they're into all that stuff. Kind of glammy in a way.
Okay.
Both of them play drums and guitar and switch off. And one of the kids is a really good, well, they're both really good drummers. One of them, kind of like Keith, he's really good. They're great, though. What else? I like a band called Shit Kid. You have to look them up.
Shit Kid?
Shit Kid.
Sounds like a punk band or a hardcore band.
They're a band from Sweden.
Oh wow! Okay.
You'll have to check them out.
Oh.
It's they kind of sound like Nancy Sinatra, a more garage band version of Nancy Sinatra.
Okay. Nancy Sinatra?
That's right.
Okay.
These boots are made for walking, Nancy Sinatra.
Okay. All right.
One of my favorites. You don't know Nancy? Oh my God.
No, yeah, I know Nancy. I'm just saying,
look her up.
I'm interested that this band sounds like her. Like, I want to see what that's like.
Yeah. I think I heard that might be something kind of obscure.
So you guys with the Melvins definitely inspired a lot of heavier bands, I would say. I mean, I know Mastodon covered The Bit a while back, and you guys definitely have
for sure.
a heavy vibe. So is there any, like, how do you feel about the state of heavy music these days? Because there's a lot of bands out there that are heavy, but I don't know. I feel like it's missing that rawness that you guys used to have,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hear a few bands that I like that are heavy. Actually, the band that's with us on tour right now are really good, and they're pretty heavy. They're called Spotlights, and they're from Brooklyn. They're worth checking out, too.
Okay, yeah, actually, Monica sent me their stuff, too. I got to check that out.
Yeah, they have a little bit of an ISIS vibe, the band.
Yeah, Yeah.
ISIS. To clarify that.
Yeah, I recently had Michael on the show, and yeah, it was like ISIS the band. Okay.
Right. They should sue the for stealing their name.
Yeah, man, it sucks. It really does create a problem, when
taken to court. Yeah, I mean,
if somebody like a hate group takes over your name, like if the next terrorist group is called the Melvins, I mean, like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know. Then we're totally screwed.
Oh man, do you keep up with what's going on with the state of the world? Are you freaking out like everybody else is freaking out, or are you just not even worried about it? Just do your music thing.
Not too, Yeah, of course. I've been watching stuff and seeing what's going on. Big surprise, there's rednecks in the South.
Yeah.
We had to deal with next time we ever toured and actually went down to your neck of the woods in Florida. Okay. Boy, that wasn't any fun at all.
No.
When they did not like our band. We were not having any of our long-haired horse shit. and made it very apparent, but I always felt that assholes will always go away, and just fucking ignore them, and they will eventually go away because they'll just breed themselves out and kill themselves, or go to jail or whatever. I imagine all those skinheads from back when we had trouble with skinheads are either in jail or dead, or maybe even a small percentage of them changed their ways, or maybe even there's some of these guys that are going up to Virginia and causing trouble. But you guys all got to remember that those guys are fucking not that many of them. They will go away and pay no attention to the fucking idiots.
For sure. I mean, there's a lot of movements going on of people attacking them.
Right. All it's gonna do is make give them publicity and press.
Yeah, they're winning. That's what they want. They want their name out there. They're just
exactly.
attention hungry, and I try not to really talk about it much. I haven't posted much about it, and people are giving me shit too. They're like, "Hey, notice you haven't really mentioned anything about what's going on." And it's like, well, I don't want to. I don't want to give them any more fuel. It's
right. And as me as an entertainer, I don't like giving my views on anything, any of that type of stuff.
For sure.
Any type of political stuff, because it's not my place to say it.
Yeah, it's your job is to provide the entertainment so that we don't have to pay attention to that stuff.
Yep.
It sucks. It's a shitty situation we're in, but I mean, honestly, outside of just trying to be good to everyone, be good to each other and stuff like that, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, don't give them any more fuel. Don't punch a Nazi in the face, even though it sounds appealing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to do any good anyway. You're just stooping to their level.
Well, I've always done my best to try to stay away from people like that. And we run into people.
Yeah.
You drive anywhere in the U.S., there's rednecks all over the fucking place. We've always gotten looks everywhere we go. Stay away from those people. Yeah. Everybody else will be fine too. Eventually, they'll all go away.
Yeah, I remember there was this bar in Homestead down in Florida that it was a known kind of a redneck spot, but I was kind of in an emergency to buy booze, and I stopped in there and just the entire bar just stopped and turned and looked at me, and I walked straight to the bar. I'm like, "Let me get a bottle of whiskey, thank you," and I walked right out. And I'm like, I'm not going to stand there and complain like, "You guys shouldn't be looking at me like that." Like, no, man, I'm at your bar. I'm sorry, I just want to get some booze. I'll be right out.
Yep. Yeah, that's happened to us plenty. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Well, hey, man, we should probably wrap this up because I got another one coming on here in a minute.
For sure, no problem. Thanks for your time, dude. Thanks for talking to me. Dale Crover's solo project, The Fickle Finger of Fate, right? Pick that up.
That's right, yeah.
And is there any Instagram, social media things you want to plug?
Oh, there's of course the Facebook stuff. Mm-hmm. Probably the best way to figure out what we're doing. There's we always post stuff on there, tours and pictures and all kinds of crap. So that's probably the best way to find out what's going on and what we're doing.
For sure, yeah. Check them out on Facebook, Melvins, Instagram, all that stuff, or pick up the new album. It's actually really great. I've heard it like 4 or 5 times since I got it, so highly recommend.
Cool, thanks, man.
All right, man. Thanks again. And
go Puig!
Yeah, go Puig. I'll see you this weekend. Actually, like I said, I'll be roaming around the backstage. I'll go watch you guys perform and everything. So hopefully, I'll catch you.
Awesome. All right, man. Take care.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.